Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Football Overseas channel, and welcome to another round of La Liga predictions as we head towards the final international weekend of the autumn stroke early winter. I think before we start the preview and review of what happened last weekend, we need to just make a reference point to the awful tragedies in Spain over the last couple of weeks, particularly in Valencia, especially the dreadful, devastating floods and horrible scenes that we've all witnessed around the world from afar. What it must have been like to be involved in it, you just can't imagine. So let's hope, we know so many people have lost their lives. Football just becomes irrelevant. We lost a couple of games, as we know, last weekend, and as I say, totally second, or way back in the pecking order of concern. So, yes, we needed just to make reference to that, and our thoughts are with everybody involved, friends and families of everybody who's lost their lives. There are a lot of tragedies in the world at the moment, but this one was obviously its most recent, and it's right at the forefront of anyone who has happened to witness it, as I say, from afar for us. But it certainly sort of it just leaves you a bit open-mouthed of what were the scenes that we saw. So we do the football, obviously, we carry on as we need to do, but we just need to. I just wanted to make sure that our thoughts are with those people. And everyone involved, and also the emergency services, all the rescuers, all the camaraderie that went on. I don't know if anyone saw it, but I'm sure you did. People coming with their brushes and buckets and anything they could do to try and help their fellow Spaniards. That was quite mind-blowing to watch. Everybody just digging in for themselves, for their compatriots, and just taking it on themselves to do it. So I just wanted to put a couple of minutes aside for that. I think it was important to do that on this channel, especially as we're doing Spanish football, and as we know, some of the football was affected, but that's totally irrelevant. So we move on now then with a little bit of a heavy heart, with that said, but we have a full programme, as far as I know, at the time of recording this, this coming weekend. Starts Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as always. So the first match up on Friday night. Oh yeah, perhaps I'll just reeve the little bit of a slightly lopsided look to the table now, with some on 11, some on 12, but that doesn't matter. Barcelona made hay again. They pulled away with a 3-1 win over Espanyol, and they're now 9 points clear of Real Madrid, who didn't play, as we know. And Atletico Madrid are a point behind. So it's tightened up a little bit behind Barcelona, but Barcelona have got that now extra breathing space, and if you get points ahead, it's always it's always better than having the games in hand, I think, in any form in any standard of football, or in sport really. If you've got to be the one that's being chased. It's usually the better place to be. However, we shall see how well that unfolds. And at the bottom, as I say, Valencia didn't play. Valladolid, they're still second bottom on 8 points, and Las Palmas on 9 points. So not really a great deal of shuffling around down there, but we'll review the matches that were played as we go along. So Friday night then, we start off again, and it's Real Vallecano against Las Palmas. And Real Vallecano still, as I say, holding their own. They didn't play in their last match. Las Palmas, as I say, lost to Atletico Madrid, who sort of closed the gap on their neighbours Real Madrid. So Las Palmas, I think they're just holding their own, aren't they? If they could just get a couple of wins together, which they did, got them just outside the relegation zone, but they slipped back in with that defeat last weekend. I think they'll slip up again. I think Vallecano obviously might be a bit fresher as well, having had the enforced break. So I'm going to say Real Vallecano to win it narrowly by 1-0. That takes us on to the 4 Saturday fixtures. First up is Real Madrid against Osasuna. Real Madrid didn't play. Osasuna scraped a 1-0 win over at Real Valladolid. And Osasuna, yeah, they had that brilliant win over Barcelona. They had a little bit of a reaction to that, but they've now found their feet again and have won a couple of matches on the bounce. However, I think Real Madrid will be, what we thought that about Barcelona when they played them possibly, but that will be pops a step too far, and Real Madrid, again, having the fortnight off, may have a few fresher legs around, and I think they'll just ease to a win over Osasuna by a couple of goals. So I'm going to take Real Madrid 2, Osasuna 0. Then we go to Villarreal against Alaves, Deportivo Alaves. Villarreal didn't play last weekend. Alaves scraped, or I say scraped, they chalked up a 1-0 win against Mallorca. So Mallorca's first, only their 4th defeat of the season, still sitting in 8th place, holding their own against some of the bigger names. And Alaves desperately needed that after 5 successive defeats. So they've got, they stopped that rot, and as I say, scraped home against Mallorca, by all intents and purposes. But I think they'll narrowly lose again this week. I think Villarreal will make sure they want to keep in touch with those at the top. Well, they are in touch. They're only 3 points behind Real Madrid, but I think they will add to that this weekend, and it'll be Villarreal 2, Deportivo Alaves 1. Then we have Espanyol against Valencia. As I say, I'm sure it's anything but football on the minds of Valencia people at the moment. However, I'm assuming this fixture will go ahead this weekend. It's away at Espanyol. Espanyol came up against Barcelona and as most teams have done, came second in that outcome. So I think these two teams will battle out a draw. Valencia do need to start picking up the points. So let's hope they can put a smile, half a smile on people's faces this weekend, maybe. And it'd be a little bit of a distraction for everyone. So Espanyol 1, Valencia 1. I think the outcome will be in the Saturday evening game, that is. And then the Saturday night game, if you think 8 o'clock is night, it is when you get to a certain age. Getafe against Girona. Girona still trying to find their feet after their exploits last year, but they had a decent win last week, and quite an exciting win, 4-3 against Leganés. Leganés, they're up and down as well at the moment, but having come up last year, then they're holding their own, they're getting points and keeping their head just about above water at the moment. So Girona chalked up a much needed win after a couple of losses. Getafe are still down there. Only won the one game this season, drawing 7. I won't say anything about draws this week, but I think they will go under. I think Girona will back up that win last week, and battle of the two Gs, Getafe and Girona. Girona will take the away win, I think, by 2-1. That takes us on to Sunday. And we have 5 games on Sunday. And the first of those is Real Betis against Celta Vigo. Real Betis played out a 1-1 draw against Athletic Club last weekend, and Celta Vigo scraped past or edged past Getafe by 1-0. So not much between these teams really. Real Betis just outside the sort of playoffs and Europeans and all that sort of stuff, European places. Yes, Celta Vigo are sort of mid-table at the moment. They don't draw many, to be fair. They either generally win or lose. 5 wins, 1 draw, 6 losses is their playing record so far. But I think they will chalk up a win here. Bit of a surprise maybe, but I'm going to go for that. I'm going to say Real Betis 1, Celta Vigo 2. Then we have Mallorca, as I say, just nestling quietly along in 8th place. But they did lose to Deportivo Alaves last week, and Atletico Madrid chalked up a 2-0 win against struggling, to a certain degree, struggling Las Palmas. So I think Atletico Madrid will narrowly win the honours in this battle. And they'll want to do that to keep up the pace with try and keep up the pace at the top. So I'm going to say another away win, 2-1 away win. Mallorca 1, Atletico Madrid 2. 3 to go then, and Leganés, as I say, lost a 7-goal thriller last weekend to Girona. They're playing at home to Sevilla. And Sevilla are a team, one of these teams, you never know what you're going to get at the moment with them. They lost 2-0 to Real Sociedad, which is just a battle of the mid-table teams at the moment, that was. Leganés will probably fancy their chances, but I think Sevilla will just sort of find their feet in this match a little bit and keep a clean sheet, which is something they haven't done enough of. They don't score enough goals and they let 1 or 2 in at the other end, so they need to do better at both ends. So I think this weekend, Leganés 0, Sevilla 1 will be the outcome of that one. Leaves us with 2 more matches on Sunday. First of all, Real Valladolid against Athletic Club, and Valladolid again struggling still, 4 or 5 losses in their last 6 matches. So just that one ray of sunshine in recent weeks. So they may well be looking forward to a couple of weeks off in the international break and sort of sort out what they're up to. I think Athletic Club will do the business. They're the top best of the rest at the moment in 6th place. Scoring a few goals. Only 1 loss in the last 6. So I think they're in good shape to go to Real Valladolid and to take the points. So I'm going to say it will be Real Valladolid 0, Athletic Club 2. And finally, but certainly not least, as it involves Barcelona, it's Real Sociedad at home to Barcelona. Real Sociedad's turn to try and stem the flow or halt to the juggernaut, whatever we want to call Barcelona at the moment, whatever it is. They're scoring goals, not letting goals in, and winning matches. What a combination that is if you get it right as often as they have this season. 11 wins out of 12, 4 wins on the trot since that surprise defeat against Osasuna. So I think they'll score goals, come up trumps once again against Real Sociedad. But Real says anyone playing Barcelona now can just say, right, let's have a free hit. Let's not try and be too tactical against them. Just go and have a free hit, see what you can do, see if we can do an Osasuna, would be the mentality that I would have. Let's just see if that turns out to be. However, I think Barcelona will weather any storm that Real Sociedad can throw at them, and they will take the match by scoring another few goals, by 3 goals to 1. So we shall see how it all ends up. Who will be having an enjoyable 2 weeks international break, who will be looking over their shoulders, who will be thinking about the transfer window and all of that sort of stuff as we come towards the middle of winter. So there we go. There we have it. As I say, a slightly low-key one, I think, this week for obvious reasons. But football goes on, and we'll hope what football you are able to watch is enjoyable, and you have, as best you can, have a great weekend. And I will see you again ahead of the next round of matches, which will be in 2 weeks' time. So enjoy the football and please take care, everyone. Thank you.